we are back at the OPP, the Organic Perspective Podcast. First and foremost, I would like to thank my Lord Jesus Christ and Savior for this opportunity. Without Him, none of this would be possible. And remember this, all power, honor, and glory belongs to the Father, and He can do whatever He wants with it. With that being said, I'm wearing my favorite anime character, Goku. The creator of Dragon Ball Z has passed away. And I just gonna say, hey, rest in peace, my brother. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, you got me through a lot of good times and growing up, you know what I'm saying? Peace. Rest in peace, my brother. With that being said, in today's episode, we will be discussing, we'll be talking about pride. Pride, and then later on we'll be talking about grace. And how pride can lead to death if you're not careful with it, you know. So remember this, pride is one of the oldest sins in the book, in the Bible, you know what I'm talking about. It's probably, if not the oldest sin. As we know, you know, Lucifer got tossed down from heaven like lightning because of pride. So pride is something that, you know, you have to be aware of, that it can it's silent, but it can take your life if you allow it to. All right. So what does the Bible say about pride? Well, we're going to read in Galatians 3:6. For if anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. That's what's up. That's what the word says about pride. All right. So I'm going to go off and I'm going to go and there's a story in the Bible where Jesus had to deal with pride. And we're going to discuss that little story real quick. And if you want to look it up, it's on Luke 10, verse 17 to 20. And I'm going to go ahead and read this, and then we'll talk about it in a minute. Okay. So it says, the 72 returned with joy, saying, Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name. And he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you. Nevertheless, do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven. So, to put some context to this reading real quick. So Jesus, he had a 72 followers who he sent out 2 by 2s to different parts of the area, you know, and over there in Jerusalem and Israel, he sent them out so they can go spread the good word. And so you know, more people will know about the Father, you know, and salvation, and you know. So they were out there doing their preaching and doing their thing. And while they're out there, they noticed that even the spirits and the demons were subject to them. Basically, so they had power over them, and they noticed this. So when they came back, you know what I'm saying, and met up with Jesus, they came and told them, hey, Jesus, you know, even the spirits and the demons, you know what I'm saying, were subject to us just like they are to you. You know what I'm saying? Basically, they were trying to compare themselves a little bit to Jesus. You know, that's where the pride creep thing, you know what I'm talking about? They were out there, the demons were listening to them, the spirits were listening to them. They were all like, you know what? You know, we got authority and power over these things. But when they came and told that to Jesus, Jesus said, hold on, whoa, hold on, take it easy. You know, hey, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. You know? And he said, and the only reason these guys are subject to you is because I have given you authority and power. That's the only reason that you guys have this authority and power over them. So basically, this is the way he dealt with this. So rather boast that you had power over spirits and demons, he said, why don't you guys rejoice in the fact of the matter is that your names are written in heaven. So that in itself is a mystery. So a lot of people, when they read this verse, they think that Jesus was telling them, hey, rejoice that your name was written in the book of life. But that's not what he's saying here. That's not what he's saying here. He's saying that rejoice that your names are being spoken or mentioned in heaven because of the work that you're doing here. Rejoice in that, and don't rejoice on something that you had no control of that I gave to you. That's what Jesus dealt with when it came to pride in that specific situation. Now, bringing it back to us right now, bringing it back to time 2020, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna share a story with you guys where, like I said, pride almost took my life, and through grace, I'm still here sharing this awesome story with you guys. So let's get into it. So I went to vacation in Puerto Vallarta one year, and I saw there was like a scuba dive, a snorkeling tour first. I went to a snorkeling tour. I'm like, oh man, I never done that. I want to try this. So I went. We went to the snorkeling tour, and we got on a boat. We went to like a little spot, and the boat stopped, and we all jumped off, and we're snorkeling. It was awesome. It was awesome experience. But then I noticed a father and his son. They were doing something that none of us were doing. They were like swimming down and touching the floor. I was like, hold up. Here's where pride kicked in. I was like, hold up. If they can do it, I can do it too. Crazy? I ain't gonna let no little kid or somebody else do something I can't do. So I tried swimming down. I got down maybe like 12 feet, and the pressure built up in my head that I couldn't get any further. So I had to swim back up. I tried it 3 different times. Each time I couldn't take the pressure. I went back up, and the third time when I popped my head out the water, I had a huge lump right here. It was a huge lump. I could like squeeze it. It was like water in here. It was a huge lump. So then after the tour ended, I went to the guy and his son. I'm like, man, what's up with that, man? You know what I'm saying? How are you guys doing that? How come I couldn't do it? And then the guy started explaining to me, hey, you know what? You must equalize. Every time you equalize, every 10, 12 feet, you must equalize, and then you can go further down. I'm like, oh, equalize. Oh, okay. I didn't know what that meant, but okay. I said, hey, cool. So there is a reason why I can't do it. It wasn't because I just couldn't physically do it. It was just I couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want my head to burst. So then I get back to the hotel, and I'm walking around, and I see a sign that says scuba diving. I'm like, oh man, I have never been scuba diving before. I want to try this. So I went, and I got a tour, and it was like a beginner's tour. It's the first time I ever did. It was a beginner's tour. So I paid my money. I paid my money. So then we take off. The guy trained me for an hour in a pool. He showed me how to equalize. Like, okay, boom. I learned how to equalize. The day the tour came, we went to the tour, and it was like one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. It was beautiful. So on the way to where we were gonna go scuba, being beginners, we didn't know how to put our equipment on, so we were treated like babies. I'm saying they were dressing me. I had 2 girls putting everything on me. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, It was awesome. You know what I'm talking about? And then and they were just like baby me the whole time. And then when it was time to jump off the boat, they told me, sit right here. Don't worry about it, baby. Sit right here. And they pushed me off gently, and then the tour started. And I was able to swim down. I was able to equalize. I was able to touch the ground. I was probably like 25, 30 feet. It was an amazing experience. It was like that movie, Finding Nemo. All the fishes were coming at us. I'm like, oh, I saw a popper fish. I grabbed it. I was tossing like a basketball. It was cool. It was an awesome experience. So I got done, came back to a hotel. I'm like, oh, man, I got to do this again. This is what's up, what I'm talking about? And so, boom, I would come back to Chicago. A year later, I like that vacation so much that I said, you know what, I'm going to go back to Puerto Vallarta, you know what I'm talking about? Because I was out there kicking it real hard, partying, and that's what's up. So I go back out there, and I'm over here looking for that little scuba tour, whatever. I see it. I said, oh, there it is. So I walked up to the guy. I'm like, hey, man, I want to do this all over again. I want to go. It was a different hotel, so I was going to a different place. Hey, but I want to do the tour. Well, the guy asked me a question that I never thought he was asking me. He asked me, okay, do you want to do the beginner tour or do you want to do the expert tour? And here's what pride kicks in. I said to myself, without him thinking, I told myself inside my head, you know what? Last year, I did the beginner's tour. You know what? Give me the expert tour. You know, I said, the guy says, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? He started filling me out, whatever. I had to sign my life away, whatever. And then he asked me for my license. I said, what? License? You know, he's like, yeah, you need to so many hours of being trained and practice, and you need to pass all these tests before you become an expert, because the expert's tour it's not like a beginner's tour. There's no joke. I'm like, oh man, you know what? I told the guy, I lied. I said, man, I left my credentials back in Chicago, but I got money. So, and in Mexico, you got money. They if you want to pay to kill yourself, they ain't gonna stop you. So the guy's like, okay, here you go, man. Boom. The day of the tour came. So we're out there. We jump on this boat. It's 4 experts and the guide. And then we had about 100 beginners. And they were being all babied. And like I was treated the year before. I was like, man, I want that treatment. But no, us experts, we got put on like a different part of the boat. And so we're sitting there. And I'm like, man, why aren't they dressing me, So then we get to the spot where the beginners, it was like a bigger boat. We get to that spot. The beginners, they had a great time. They got pushed off, baby. They tell me and the other 4 guys, no, that boat right there, you guys gotta jump on that boat, and your equipment's on that boat. And they're gonna go about 2 miles out more further into the ocean. I said, deal. First of all, I have no experience, no training. I don't even know how to put the equipment on. But I'm already in. I'm not gonna admit that I messed up and that I lied. That I knew what I was doing. So I'm kind of like side-eyeing the people and just copying whatever they doing. It looked like I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know nothing. I got my equipment on, whatever, and then all of a sudden I noticed, why is there 2 tanks? Last year, I only had 1 tank. So the guy's like, yeah, we have 2 tanks, saying, because when we're down there and your oxygen runs out, you gotta calmly, not panic, take out one tank and then connect the other tank. I'm like, whoa, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. What I'm saying, I'm gonna die. I've never done this before. I don't even know how to do it. But at this time, I'm already in, and my Puerto Rican crazy ass self said, you know what? I'm here. Let's do it. So then I got these 2 tanks on, and we're getting closer to the area where we're about to jump in, And the tour guide starts giving us a speech. And he's like, yeah, I'm glad you guys came. You guys ready? I'm stoked. I'm ready. We're going to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so glad that you guys all have your credentials. You've done all the training, all the tests, all the hours, because this tour is no joke. I'm like, okay. All right, this is not a joke. And then he goes and tells the story. Yeah, because 3 weeks ago, the Coast Guard, they had a training out here. The U.S. Coast Guard had a training at the exact same spot where I was at. And 3 of the Coast Guard people, they never found them again. They died right there and they disappeared. And I'm in my head, I'm like, whoa. You're telling me that I'm going somewhere where experts died and I have no clue on what I'm doing? And I'm not, and most rational people would be like, okay. I admit I'm wrong. Hey, whatever. But this Puerto Rican crazy guy self, I had too much pride to admit that I was wrong. That was wrong. So then we get to the spot, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm already nervous. I'm like, I know my eyes are like wide open. I'm over here like, I'm scared. I knew I was scared, but I'm trying to hide it. So then when you're an expert, they don't treat you like a baby. They don't tell you, sit right here and push you off. No, you have to have like this little walk. you walk off and you kind of go backwards into the water. And I let them do it first so I can copy them. And I did it so I looked like I knew what I was doing, but I had no clue what I was doing. I just copied them. We start going down. Swimming down. Now remember, at the beginner's tour, you probably do 25, 30 feet. Now we're going down 100, between 100 and 150 feet. We're going way down there. And the guy's telling us, hey, we're going to go through some crazy currents. You're going to feel it because you're going to feel the temperature change in the water. When you feel the temperature change in the water, that's a current. Get ready. You might have to swim a little stronger. Be ready, because one of those currents is what took those guys a couple weeks ago, and they never found their bodies. So they had tanks. They had tanks down there, and that was the burial site down there. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, when we go down, we'll stop and say, what's up, rest in peace, dudes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't make it, but you know, whatever. So here I am, I'm swimming down, but all that's going through my mind. Now I start going a little nutty. You know, now I start like hyperventilating. I was having a panic attack. So when, as a professional swimmer, as a diver in scuba, when you breathe, you must breathe calmly, like. And that's how you're supposed to breathe the whole time, so you don't waste oxygen. You know what I'm saying? But me being scared, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I was like, I was breathing like that. I was breathing I was just taking deep breaths, having a panic attack. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm about to die over here. We get down to about 125 feet. We're sitting there chilling. I mean, it was nice, but I couldn't enjoy it. You know, I was the whole time I'm thinking I'm about to die up in this bad boy, you know? So then all of a sudden I see like a torpedo, fwah, came from nowhere, and it swam like a torpedo, boom, and it stopped right in front of me. It was a barracuda. You know, and so now I'm even panicking even more, because now I'm about to get bit up by this thing that came up and just looked at me. And the messed up part was, you know, barracudas have eyes like on their side of the heads, like right here. So he swam and stopped right here and looked at me. He one-eyed me. And then the barracuda was a gangster. The barracuda slowly did a 180 and looked at me with this other eye. I'm over here trying to get away. You know, and they're telling me, hey, don't move, relax. I'm thinking I'm about to get eaten. Through the grace of the Lord, through the grace, the barracuda looked at me and he said, okay, there's no harm here. He took off. When we were down there, I was down there probably like 35, 36 minutes. I looked down at my gauge and I see I'm at about 15% oxygen left. After this 15% no more oxygen, I could die. I have to switch my tank. I've never done it before. Now I'm even breathing even harder. I'm having a panic attack. I went from 15 to 2% like in 3 minutes. I'm at 2%, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do. And this is when the Father comes and he kicked in. You know, told me, you know, I was just like, I'm just gonna die, whatever. I'm gonna die. But the Father, you know, he threw an idea in my head. Bow, you know, say, hey, why don't you go ahead and tell the guide that your mask is malfunctioning and you can't stop it from, you know what I'm saying? So you got to go up. You got 2%. I'm about to die. Yeah, I tell the guy, hey, man, this mask is not working for me. I got to go up. Man. I can't see none. You know what I'm saying? So the guy goes, okay, let's go up. Let's see what's going on. But, you know, it just like when you're going down, you can't swim up too fast because there's not too much pressure. But I'm panicking, so I'm trying to just get up to the top so I don't die. The guy's holding my legs, slowing me down, so I don't hurt myself. But finally, we get to the top. And he tells me, what's going on? What's wrong? I said, man, this mask is not working, and the water's going in. I couldn't stop him going in. The guy goes to me, don't trip. Give me that mask. I'll give you mine. I was like, damn. We got to go back in. You know, so then I'm like, oh, hey, guy, you know, hey, I'm pretty sure he knew I wasn't supposed to be there at that time, at that specific moment. I'm pretty sure he knew. And I say, you know what, my gauge says he still have a tank. I'm almost done with the full tank. So I go, can I just switch the tank right here? You know, now, you know, and it's no problem. So he said, don't worry about it. Turn around. He switched the tank for me. And he said, okay, let's go back down. I'm like, well, first of all, it was very dark down there. So I'm like, how are we supposed to find these other swimmers? You know what I'm talking about? Well, if you had training, you would know how to. All you gotta do is follow little air bubbles, and it'll take you right to where they're at, because the bubbles are coming from them. So we follow the bubbles down. We swim for like another. I probably swim for like another 40 minutes. Their tank had just barely finished when both of mine were done. Okay, so I'm running low on my second tank, but the second time it wasn't. I was kind of a little more calm. I was still hyperventilating because that just the thought of three professionals dying at any given moment, at any given current. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling all these changing temperatures. Hey, this is all going through my head, so I'm still breathing very deep breath. So then, so my tank, I was about 5%. I tell the tour guy and everybody else, there's like sign language. Hey, are you cool? Yeah, I'm cool. Is everything okay? Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So I tell the guys, hey, my tank, I show my tank is almost done. It's almost done. I tell them, hey, don't mess up your tour because of me. I'm gonna go up, and you guys continue the tour and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? So I went up nice and slow. I went up, boom. Oh, thank you, Father. Thank you, I didn't die. But we had swam maybe a mile and a half away from the boat. So now I'm treading on top of the water, and what's going through my head? Oh man, there could be a shark under me. I can't see him. There could be all type of fishes under it, and I would feel stuff. I'm like, oh, the whole time. So I finally get on the boat. And I take off my stuff, and I'm like, oh, thank God. You know what I'm saying? I made it. I didn't die. So, do you really think, or do I really think that I made it, that I made it through that experience because of my own doing, my own strength, because I'm beautiful? Do you really think it's because of this? No, it had nothing to do with that. It had to do through the grace of my Father. The grace of the Lord, talking about He had grace for me, because there was 3 professionals that didn't make that tour, that were trained on that tour, and here's me. I went through the tour, no training, no license, no nothing, and I made it through that tour. And you know what? That was a gift from the Father. He gifted me that. So everybody out there, talking about that has been through a personal experience, like, hey, damn, I could have died, How many people had that same experience and didn't make it? See, what that means is the Lord had grace for you. And meaning there's something that He wants you to do in this world still. You're not done. Your time's not over yet. And He's gracefully giving you time to go ahead and do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta remember, all honor, power, and glory belongs to the Father, and He can do whatever He wants with it. Okay? So, grace. What does the word say about grace? Let's learn a little bit about grace. All right? Okay. So in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9 says, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one may boast." So let's get the definition of grace. The definition of grace. Grace is a blessing that is undeserved, and warranted grace is a gift given freely, given on the kind intentions of the giver to a recipient who has no claim to it. So I had no claim to doing that tour. The only reason I made it out of that tour is because the Father had grace for me. So you guys remember this, you know what I'm saying? It's all power and grace is His. And He gave me grace and got me out of there. It wasn't because of my own doing, it's because He was looking out for me. He knew I still had something to do for him in this world. And I'm here talking to all you good people, you know what I'm saying? So, Grace, that's what's up. You know what I'm talking about? And if you've been in that experience, just remember this, remember this. It's not because of you. You've been gifted. You've been gifted. So take advantage and get right with the Father, you know what I'm talking about? Because he has something for you. That being said, I want to say to all the audience out there, wherever you're at, if it's a good night, good night. If it's a good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're at around the world, good something, it's all good. And remember this, stay up. Stay up. That's what the Father wants. He wants to keep you up. He wants you to keep a growth mentality that you can do anything through Christ. Through Christ, you can do anything. Stay up and do not let nothing bring you down. And what the thing's gonna bring you down is the enemy. You know what? He wants you in a fixed mindset, meaning, hey, I'm okay where I'm at. I don't need to move forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with how I am. I don't need no more growth. Because why? Because I can't do it anyways. That's the mentality that the enemy wants you to have. So remember that. So basically, hey, I guess this is the end of the episode. If you liked the episode, like, share it, subscribe. If you think these words can help somebody out, share it with them. I'm talking about. Let them know. Hey, grace is a gift. Life is a gift. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. You're here for a reason. All you gotta do is find that reason. A lot of people out there looking for something. Looking for something. They don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're looking for. What you're looking for is the Father. So, stay safe. Stay smooth. God bless. I'm out.